Всем привет! Путешествуя во Вьетнаме, мы познакомились с замечательными ребятами Майклом и Ханой. К слову, Хана из Англии, а Майкл из Нью-Джерси. Но сейчас они живут на Карибских островах и устраивают круизы на яхте, где Майкл капитан, а Хана шеф-повар. Они много путешествуют и мечтают всю свою жизнь прожить среди пляжей и джунглей, чтобы каждый день встречать закаты на берегу моря. Согласитесь, звучит очень заманчиво. И мы решили взять у них интервью и узнать рецепт свободной жизни. Это интервью было записано спонтанно, сразу после занятия кайтингом, поэтому одежда соответствующая. Поехали!
So, yeah, what's up, guys?
Hello.
How's it going?
So we're in Vietnam right now.
Меня.
Yeah.
First, I'm Michael Calezo, and this is my wife, Hannah.
Yeah. And what are you doing in Vietnam?
Right now, we're kite surfing. Look out there, you can see all the kites flying.
We learned 2 years ago, Colombia, and we're trying it out down in Moine.
All right.
Yes.
So you're from America, now you're from England. Mm-hmm. How come?
Born that way.
Yeah, that's where I was born.
How did you guys meet?
I was studying in Plymouth, which is the sort of southwest of England, and I was studying environmental science. And Michael was in Plymouth to learn to
Get my captain tickets.
to be a captain, sailboat captain.
So what motivated you to become a captain in the first place?
Just kind of fell into it, really. I hopped aboard a boat. I had a one-way flight to Dominican Republic in the Caribbean, and cruised for 3 months through the Caribbean. And then I started doing deliveries. Basically, somebody's got a boat in the Caribbean and they want it in Europe for the summer. You pay us and we sail the boat over. So I did that for 3 years, and in the midst of that's when I met Hannah.
Now you're a chef.
Yeah. I learned to be a chef recently, with the job. To be honest, my background's environmental science, and before we actually met, I was about to start a PhD studying microplastics in the marine environment.
Wow.
And we met, and he was like, "Baby, do you want to come to the Caribbean?" I was like, "Okay." So I learned to cook. And food has always been a passion.
Then what, like a year and a half later, we were engaged. And we got married September 3rd of last year. You lived in Beijing 2 years.
I lived in Beijing 2 years. Actually, living in Beijing to study Mandarin, and I became aware of my environment. Like the air was dirty, polluted, and the food, the contaminations, and I was watching the news, and they had a leak. It's a drinking water company, and they were basically saying not to drink this type of water because it was like some contamination. And I was like, oh my god, basic necessities you need. So I came back to England to study environmental science. And
Now what were you doing in London?
I was doing my captain courses.
this is in Plymouth.
We were in Plymouth, it's about 4 hours by train to the west, on the southwest coast. On my first transatlantic crossing, I made friends with a guy, and he fell overboard 800 miles west of the Azore Islands. And I rescued him, and obviously we became friends. And he had gone to boarding school there, and his mom had a cottage somewhat close. And so he said, "Well, why don't you come stay with me, and we can do our courses together." So yeah.
It was all because of that boy, really. His friend.
Yeah, and so
His friend was his connection to England.
Yeah, and I made friends with him, and so I came back the next year, and so I made friends there, and I ended up staying with one of them, and I became like the American exchange student, the loud American in the house, and I learned English culture and everything, which was cool, and then that's when I met Hannah.
Now this last big hurricane, Irma, you guys were affected by that.
Yeah, it was total
How did that affect you?
devastation. Yeah, it just wiped away everything. I mean, houses gone, boats upside down.
We were there on the island when it happened, and you couldn't really leave the island even if you wanted to for at least maybe 4 or 5 days.
Yeah.
They had charter planes that came in, but it was you never knew when they were landing. But it was like post-apocalyptic.
Yeah, I mean, people were walking around like zombies, really, because you just lost everything. The whole house is gone, the roof's gone, it's just rubble.
People were in
Right.
shock.
Yeah.
So you guys lost your boat?
Yeah, we lost our work boat, which is a company boat, and yeah, we lost our personal boat, which we brought last year.
Yeah.
Yeah, we were planning a sail in the Pacific 2019, and
In January we're leaving.
we brought quite an old boat for not a lot of money comparative to how much boats can cost, and we were fixing it up ourselves. So because we work in the sailing industry, we're able to then, get parts here and there and second-hand parts, and sort of manage to patch things up quite relatively cheaply in comparison.
Yeah, for sure.
But so that kind of burst that dream a little bit.
Yeah, the mast broke in 2 places and she fell on her side and a big hole in it. A new mast costs more than what a new boat would cost, really.
Wow.
Well, like another used boat.
For us, yeah.
Yes. So it's kind of it's a lost dream. It's a postponed dream. It's not lost, it's postponed.
So, what do you see yourself doing 5 years from now?
We want to potentially set up a hostel / we don't know.
Yeah, we're still working out the details.
Yeah, but we want some beach.
Beach and jungle.
And we want jungle.
We want to be on the beach and we want to be in the jungle.
Seriously, living in the jungle?
Yeah.
Close, like we want to be, the jungle's here and the beach is there.
Yeah.
We haven't found that place yet, we're still looking.
And be completely renewable, solar.
Yeah,
off the
grow
grid.
our own food, and we're mostly vegetarian, so I mean you grow your own veggies and you have a couple chickens for some eggs and a couple dogs and pets and horses and cows and goats.
Are you talking about like no interaction with the outside world?
No. No, so we need to work, and we work in hospitality, so
hospitality and tourism, so
we all set up some sort of venture where we can bring guests to maybe our accommodation, and we can show them around, or take them on hikes, or take them on bird watching, or rock climbing, surfing, kite surfing, just be a base for
travelers. People that want a vacation, really.
Yeah.
What country are you considering?
We're looking at Belize right now.
Belize.
We haven't been though, so it's kind of silly to talk about it if you haven't been there, but what we've read, it's kind of ticks our boxes, but we'll have to see. We'll have to go there next year and find out.
Now, what kind of advice would you give to people who don't want to follow a standard career path and just want to do something extraordinary like you guys have done?
Sell your house and go.
Yeah, I think traveling is travel as much as you can, because you learn from everybody. Like, everybody's a teacher. Everybody you meet shares something with you, and you share with them, and you just will learn so much more about yourself and really what it is you want in life, and how to just become at peace with yourself as well. We put so much pressure on ourselves of what we think we need to have and what we should have, and we try to say that we need to reach these goals by the time I'm 35. I need X, Y, and Z, and none of it really matters. So just travel, and life will happen. Life will unfold.
Like, looking at you, you probably wouldn't say that money is the key to happiness. So what is?
What is happiness?
Love.
Love and see.
Yeah.
What do you know about Russia? Like, what kind of stereotypes maybe you have?
We had some Russian guests that came on our boat. Really cool people. They left. When did they leave Russia? They left about 30 years ago. Mm-hmm. About 30 years ago, they came, and she was a dentist, and he actually worked in the World Trade Towers. And for whatever reason, there was that day, I guess he was one of the lucky people that didn't go into the office that day, the day that the towers came down. But yeah, they came on the boat, and then their grandfather came. He was I think he was about 85. He was about 85, and all he wanted to do was fish, and he was very particular. He loved his brandy. He didn't want frilly cocktail straws or anything. He wanted a 3-finger, neat brandy, no fancy glass, just like that. And all he wanted to do was fish. And we had no common language between me and him, but we got along, obviously. I knew, okay, give him a fishing pole, a cup of brandy, and he's happy.
Yeah, they were so generous. And they've been in America, like I guess when they had to leave Russia, they had to give up their passport, their identity, their money, their jewelry, everything of possession. So they were actually very inspiring also to meet them because they came from they came to a land that they also didn't really know what was going to be there, you know. And when they arrived in America, they just worked hard. She became a dentist, he became a businessman, and they are so appreciative of their journey in life, and they were so gracious to us. They were so kind. They didn't want us to work. They didn't want us to do our jobs.
Yeah, they took us out for dinner and like, Hannah, you're not cooking tonight. Let's go out for dinner.
Yeah, they're like, sit down. Like, it's okay. You don't have to make my bed. Like, stop.
And where I'm from is New Jersey, which is fairly close to New York, where they live. And they found out we were back, and they said, "Oh, you must come to New York." And I said, "Okay." They said, "Don't worry, we'll take care of everything." And they put us in this fancy hotel, and we went around and saw a Broadway show, and we raced sailboats in Central Park, and we had a great time with them.
Yeah.
Now, if anyone wants to take a trip with you, what kind of prices are they looking at?
Our boat goes between like 20 to 50,000 per week.
That's a week.
For 1 week, yeah, 7 days.
50 is in the high season, really, and the 20 is
and
low
then 20
season.
is low season. It depends on the.
When's high season, when's low season?
November to April, May, June is high season. Christmas is obviously Christmas and New Year's is the biggest months, and then in the summertime you get hurricane season. So the cost goes down because you potentially could have a hurricane that comes.
So, what are you going to see during those 7 days with you?
Where we are, it's fairly protected. So you have one main island, it's 18 square miles in the center, and it's surrounded by barrier islands, which are all about 3 miles apart. The seas are pretty flat because it breaks all of the waves. Yeah, and you usually just hop between the different islands, and
They're about 3 miles apart.
yeah, each one has a slightly different thing to offer.
Like fishing, swimming.
Yeah,
Paddleboarding, kayaking, snorkeling.
a lot of snorkeling.
If you want to
scuba diving, really beautiful reefs there.
yeah. And then you eat 5 meals a day,
Wow.
and you drink.
Cooked by you.
Yeah. No, that's not me. That's this. And you have a bar, and you pretty much have all the liquor, spirits available. So it's just happy days, really.
Yeah.
Come and have a good time.
Yeah.
All right. This brings us to the end then. Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you.
All right. Thanks so much.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, let's switch.